Kabam shock everybody with She-Hulk compensation. The Summoner Showdown has an epic conclusion and we get a first look at Voyant and Aarkus' animations. Yes, hello one and all and welcome back to the 30th of August Friday edition of Marvel Contest of Champions News. It is, thank God it's Friday, and let's hope you have a lovely weekend. But before this video kicks off, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button if you're indeed new to the channel, with post notifications on all. Thank you very much. Let's get into the news. Yes, our first story begins with the Summoner Showdown. Look, there's a very lovely Panda Man Pete. The main thing that I was trying to find out is whether or not there's a certain type of roster of champions you can use for this. Thanks to Captain Bay, who got in contact. We put a comment onto the Summoner Showdown recap video that I did, and also dropped me a line on, He says that there is a different roster for every different challenge. And also that the commentators, so Arby and Nori, are not in the same room. Which is, thank God, because if I had to hear anything about neck breaks or the fact that Panda Man Pete looks like Hanson, whilst I'm trying to concentrate on the game, I think I'd go bloody doolally. And for those wondering what the epic conclusion of this was, I don't know, just Pete was really good. The concept was nailed down to a T, as that he was just getting his health completely trashed. So in order to kind of when the switch of health bars goes, as you can see, just dabbling with death a little bit, but the fact is it still shows great uses of Human Torch, great understanding of his abilities, and at the same time understanding the switch with the aspect and also the extent of when Tranquility works. It's not always about the special attack, but it's the rate of damage, and especially those things with Incinerate. Job's done. What can you say? It's a flawless match there. So well done to Pete. Next up, I just want to address a couple of bugs. One has been a bug for a long ass time that's been on the forum that people are still coming back to on a daily basis, just putting more stuff. But this here, a lot of people have been complaining about inputs, and mainly a lot of it seems to be with Variant 3. I don't know if you've experienced any kind of input issues, but it just seems that there's a lot of lost inputs when it comes to playing the game. And I don't know if this is communications at Kabam's end, our end, but still it's just kind of weird that a lot of people are complaining about a similar thing. Now a lot of the times when I experience stuff like this, I kind of say to myself, is this me that's got the problem or is it the phone? I make sure to kind of clean my phone, so I might kind of get my phone, just rub it on my tit, where else, bit of cloth, something, a screen wipe, just clean it off, and then as well turn your phone off, then turn it back on again, especially if you've got iPhones, because it just resets everything. Smartphones aren't as smart as you might think. And also, if you are running at anything that's lower than half battery, just don't play MCOC. In the competitive areas, do arena, but don't do anything competitive. That's my top tips there in order to kind of make sure that your experience may be a little bit better. But it's a case that you probably have to full power the phone, clean it off, and then reboot it. You'll be fine. Make sure all software updates have been done, those kind of things. Make sure no other apps are running in the background. Just the regular piddly crap that's associated with it. But yeah, I have experienced stuff even with full battery and all the methods that I just said. I'm still having problems, but hopefully it helps. One of the other ones to talk about is hitting into block countered by special. This is something that is still frustrating a lot of players. I have had it from time to time, not all the time, but a good chunk of time. It mainly happens to me when I'm doing more competitive areas. It doesn't seem to happen in arena. It seems like the AI is completely toned down in arena, but obviously when it comes for more competitive content, it's not exactly the same. And you've got certain circumstances, again, with Variant 3 coming up, with a lot of people's kind of talking points saying, hey, well in Variant 3, I've had this issue, I've had that. The last time we heard from something from Kabam on this was Mike saying, basically, you cannot say that this is happening everywhere. So yeah, that's correct, but it's not happening in arena. That's the thing. It's happening elsewhere, but it's not happening in arena. This goes back to those age-old things, is it because of our devices? Do you have to have the most modern device to have the best working AI, the more fairer working AI, or is it a case that as soon as you've got an older device, it doesn't work as well intended to be? It is very hard to kind of understand that particular logic behind it, and I don't know if we'll ever get an answer on this particular thread. It would be nice to, but I don't think we will. Over the course of this forum's run, and as it obviously will continue to run, there's not a case that we've had too many duplicate people coming in just going, okay, well, I'm saying the same thing time and time again. There's a load of new people. So there's a lot of new people experiencing the same thing. It's also good to see that somebody who had an iPhone 7 similar to myself is experiencing a similar issue. So again, it could be down to age of devices, which kind of means that should Kabam start doing what they did last time and say, right, well, if you want to get a better experience running the game, unfortunately, it won't be compatible with the device that you're using. That would be nice, but again, I don't know if we'll get that anytime soon. They used to do that, especially with different types of operating systems, but would they do that with certain devices as well? But in any case, please go to the link in the description if you want to have your say on this particular forum post or have a comment down below. In other news, the hype train has been building for Aarkus and as well as Voyant. Unfortunately, it'll probably mean that we'll have ridiculous high scores for Voyant, but it is still very exciting to see these two characters in action. Some really kick-ass action as well. In this video, Vision shows off his, well, I say Vision, Aarkus Vision shows off things like Cold Snap and the way that armor breaks work, similar to a champion like Medusa, but also there's other things to this character as well. I've done a breakdown of this champion and the abilities, as well as Clairvoyant's, link is in the description. And also Clairvoyant showcases things like the plagues and how good they really look. So it is going to be so exciting for those two to hit. I'm pretty much ready and fingers crossed that I can pick her up. If not, I've got some featured crystals, which I'll probably do at New York Comic Con. Why not? So that would be quite fun to do that. Some featured crystals, trying to get Clairvoyant at New York Comic Con. Let's make that happen, people. And now on to a bit more positive news. Well, not really news, more like discussion. The forum can be a place where people disagree more than they agree, and a debate sometimes turns into something that is nothing short of toxic and makes people really not want to go to the forum, full stop. But I came across this and I thought this is quite nice. This post here, this thread, was put up last month in July, and I like the way that it's a nice debate between people, but mainly because people are throwing ideas of which champions were their kind of MVPs, the stuff that got them through content, their saving of them as a summoner type champions. And for me, it, at the moment, is Domino. But for a lot of players, they have other reasons as to why the champions they've chosen are good for them. And it's nice because people don't fall out. So if you want to go to the forum, you want to talk about something with your fellow community, you don't want to fall out at all, then go to this link here and have your say in certain champions that helped you out. Hey, did you hear that there was a big falling out about the fact that they were changing She-Hulk and theoretically she's being nerfed? Did you hear about that? No? Well, 45,000 people viewed this particular forum post, and as well, nearly 1,000 comments. It probably will go over 1,000 comments on this, and that is just insane. No word from Kabam. They've been fairly silent, so they have made a statement, and it's time to cough up the compensation. Kabam apologised, but go into a bit more detail about this particular exploit slash bug. The ability to chain a combo into a heavy attack is not intended for all champions unless otherwise stated. For example, with Wasp, She-Hulk's abilities to slow and taunt in conjunction with this unattended mechanic were more powerful than intended, in that it had potential to keep a defender in the corner and turn off potential counterplay from the defender. Oh, so I guess the player can never get an upper hand then. We have heard from the community and understand that many players may have specifically ranked She-Hulk for the gameplay mechanic without knowing that it was unintended. Since these rank up decisions require investment of resources, no shit, we want to give players who have ranked She-Hulk the opportunity to evaluate the fix once it is live and make the decision if they would like to rank her down. We are working on the steps required to create She-Hulk's specific rank down tickets and gather a list of players impacted to provide them compensation. The final statement about rank down tickets being that they are, well, not really this kind of commercial thing. They can't throw them out like sweets or candy or whatever. But I think for a lot of players, having that once a year change, remember we had one Christmas time, the ability to have rank down tickets. We had one 5-star, one 4-star, one 3-star. Now, would it be so much of an issue just to have that once a year in some sort of capacity? Kabam could have monetized this a long time ago, and it would probably have been a really good thing for them financially, rather than thinking about the summoner sigil or thinking about the unit card. Having something where you could buy rank down tickets at some kind of point in time would be great. I don't know if there's some kind of like coding issues or something, Kabam's like what the reason that they're holding off really on this, but the fact is it would be nice to see them in some capacity rather than it just being very specific. I think that will make this the comment discussion of today. Do you feel that this compensation is enough for the situation, or do you feel that something needs to change ongoing? Obviously we can fix this particular problem, but when are we going to get to the next champion where there's going to be some alterations and changes which ultimately affect you and maybe your rank up decisions, and obviously would you always get rank down tickets? Because that will be the next problem. Is this an isolated incident, or if situations happen like this that you're not able to get rank down tickets again? And our final story is just to give love, really. Give some love to Dork Lessons and as well anybody that is being affected and will be affected by the storm that is hitting. I think it's Storm Dorian that is hitting Florida on Monday. Yes, it's at the moment kind of sweeping in through, and I just like I'm doing Marvel Contest Champions news and weather now. But the fact is I just want people to kind of just think about people in the community that may be being affected by this particular storm. I've heard things where people haven't been able to get resources that they need, like fuel and other stuff, like certain foods, because obviously everyone goes mad because they have to bunker down. Do bear in mind, keep safe, and obviously look out for governmental warnings to leave areas and those kind of things as well, because it's important to keep yourself channels, radio, TV, and obviously if TV goes out, radio is another option. But just those warnings as well. Just keep vigilant, and at the same time look after one another. Stay safe. Give your love to Dave and everybody else in the community. Especially when it comes to Monday night. That looks like it's going to be the worst point of when things are going to hit. So there we have it. That has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Friday, the 30th of August 2019. Please check out some other content here. I've also posted a VR video which you should check out as well. Subscribe down here to other channels and my main channel, yes. And have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.